This marks the 10th part of this manhwa. If you haven't viewed the previous parts, you can access it by clicking the I button located above, or the link is provided in description. Let's aim for 200 likes on today's video. To show your support, consider subscribing to the channel. Let's begin our recap video for today's manhwa. Erivo's note ancient monster. Is he suggesting that it's acceptable for those races to be oppressed by humans? The humans are prideful, crass, and selfish. Even when they've carved out a good life for themselves, they've always wanted more, invading the lands of other races. Swallow stated he is talking too much. Get to the point. Erivo's remark human needs to disappear, and he has the power to easily get rid of the Empire. He had always thought that taking down the Empire would be impossible unless they were able to take Riez down, until he heard that the Black Disaster had hit Riez. If only he had mentioned the thought of wiping out the humans, all of the demons would have been willing to put their life on the line. Swallow asked, why do he talk so much? Keep it precise and get to the point. Erivo stated, I'm saying that if you weren't so hands-off, so many demons wouldn't have had to die. We could have even wiped out the lowly humans. Swallow notes, so you're saying, you doing all this because is all my fault? Erivo's remark, that's right. You are the root cause of all of this. Swallow stated he is going to wipe out the humans, so don't get in his way, is what he is saying, right? Erivo's remark, that's disappointing. He cast a spell, summoned forth the rotten taper. From the abyss, emerge a colossal undead beast to assail on Swallow with relentless fury. On the other hand, Mel's think there are so many. She enchant with the flames of retaliation, igniting those who dare rush forth to assail her. And she continue with her thoughts, with them spread out like this, she guess she has no choice but to move busily. The barrier that is covering the sky is close to God-class magic. As expected of Sir Swallow, it hasn't even been 3 minutes since he left saying that he will go have a one-on-one with Erivo's real quick. At the moment, someone approached her from behind. The person is none other than Captain Novin, and he stated, Miss Mage, is everyone else safe? Mel's replied, if he is talking about the other humans, they're burning in the fire over there? He asked, is she a companion of the knights? She asked what knights he is talking about. He explained, the one who wears a giant suit of armor, and the one who's dressed in black like a beggar. No, he mean, like a wanderer. She replied, companion, how could she be? She is just a servant. She can't be compared to their greatness. He remark, is that so? And think, seeing as how she knows those knights, he is sure she's with them. That's good, Rosalina, she made it in time. At least Thoth didn't have to die in vain, and Haston will be saved. He then note he will soon turn into an undead. He knows he is not in a position to, but can he ask for a favor? And as he looked towards her closely, he noticed that she was not a human, and he think, well, he guessed that doesn't matter anymore. And he asked if there's a weapon lying around. Could he trouble her to hand him one? Observing his plight, she turned and handed him a spear, proclaiming he is a warrior. Novin, in an act of defiance, wielded the spear to end his own life before succumbing to the curse of undeath. At the moment, she felt an ominous aura. On the other hand, Swallow remarked another weird corpse, as he turned back to his original form. Erivo's think, as expected, such strength is befitting of the title, Ancient Monster. That thing is an undead with an ancient sim as its core? As the undead attacked Swallow, and restricted his movement, Erivo's cast God-class magic, Fangs of Evil. And he think that the strongest God-class magic, even an ancient monster, wouldn't be able to withstand it. The assault struck Swallow directly, resulting in a massive explosion. Once the dust clears, Swallow is impaled by 4 ominous black magic fangs. Observing this, Erivo's think finally he will kill that ancient monster. Now he can fill this land with undead, and become a transcendent being that truly rules over the dead. Then Erivo's again used God-class magic, Fangs of Evil, to finish Swallow, while stating he should feel blessed to be able to die, after his thousands of years of wandering. Just as the fangs are about to strike Swallow, he harnesses the power of darkness to shatter them. Erivo's is baffled by what he sees before him. Swallow exclaimed, that fucking hurts. It hurts so much that he didn't think he can keep letting you hit me. Erivo's ponders he intentionally allowing him to strike him. No, could it be? In a fit of anger, he strikes a nearby tree, causing it to crash to the ground. Observing that, Swallow asked why he was take it out on a tree. Anyway, is this his strongest magic? He don't have anything stronger, do he? Now only 2 remain. Meanwhile, Erivo's think, did he let me hit him to test the power of the God-class magic? He don't have a chance. He should retreat. He was too hasty. He needs to create some space and run. Swallow interrupts his thoughts, saying he is talking to you, Irivos. Don't get any weird ideas. Use something stronger if he has got it. Why is he being so quiet? He can take it that he doesn't have anything stronger, right? As Swallow effortlessly deflects the remaining 2 fangs, Irivos, seizing the distraction, swiftly restricted Swallow with chains using another spell. Swallow stated why to all of them act the same, like they are all reading from the same script. He really hate this kind of spell. Is this another one of those got class whatevers? Why is this thing so sturdy? As a large monster launches an attack at Swallow, he quickly transforms into his polymorphic form, avoiding any damage. Swallow exclaims it's so nasty. Since it's this big, well, he guess he can get a little serious. Swallow then reverts to his original form and devours the monster in one swift motion. As Irivos is shocked by Swallow power, Swallow remark he guess it's about time to replace one of the 7 great evil dungeons. Meanwhile at Lord Castle, Patrick muses aloud. Just what is he thinking, boss? Just how excited are you? Please do not forget that he is a disaster. Or is it because he can't comprehend that? The reason why he is the boss. Still, wouldn't it be nice if he could take it down a notch? It's not like he can beat him up. He is sure he'll have him take care of the aftermath. Should he start writing him letter of resignation? Irivos, that damned skeleton. Oh right, he is a skeleton as well. She asked what is happening out there. He means, it's him taking care of the undead army. She asked, is he saying that Haston will be saved? Is that what he means, sir? Patrick replied, well, it'll work out somehow, so she shouldn't worry too much. Also, his bones are starting to get goosebumps. She can speak as she normally do. Thankfully, there do not seem to be any more undead in the village, as expected of the Demon King Mel's. At the moment, Mel's teleported there while saying that was tiring, and Patrick remarked perfect timing. She exclaimed she finished everything she had to do. It's been a while since she have had to use so much mana. Patrick stated she has worked hard. If she hadn't been here, Lady Mel's, he don't know how this would have gone. She asked, isn't Sir Swallow doing most of the work? He replied no. He thinks she have done a better job. She asked, is he not done yet? He note the boss, as she can feel, is still in the middle of fighting. She remarked that power is a sight to behold. He note it's even greater when she think about the aftermath of that. Also, there's the fact that he always ends up causing more work whenever he goes out to fix things. There will be a lot of work for him after this for sure. All he has to do is stomp on them a couple of times. Why is he dragging things out like this? He really has no consideration for him, the one who has to clean up after him. Then he turned around and asked her for name. Is she Rosalina? She replied yes. He stated the territory lord was the only one they promised to keep alive, so he should clean things up here first. He stated there's no point in keeping anyone alive other than the lord of this place. Lala remarked, wait, Sir Patrick, this one is also one of her subjects. He stated, of course, that's no reason to kill her off. He is just joking. And think it's not like she can do anything by herself when those back alley thugs have all died off. More importantly, with her mind in such a state, there's no point in doing anything to her. If killing her happens to affect the lord of this place somehow, it'll be a loss for them. Well, let's just say that everything has been taken care of on this end. And he asked Mel's, can she put someone to sleep? She remarked that's not a problem, but who he wants to put to sleep? He stated he did like to speak with the lord alone. So she cast a sleeping spell on Rosalina, and put her to sleep. Patrick note, now then, shall they get started? As she can see, they have been doing their part in saving Haston, so she should do her part, and keep her promise. She asked what do she has to do? He remarked she can't leak anything she has seen so far. Well, he believes she would know that even without him having to tell her. He will be telling her a story now, so listen carefully. It is a story about a heroic territory lord, who took on all the insults to protect her territory. The lord, who realized that the undead were going to overrun her territory, made up her mind to protect the territory and its citizens. But she was in a situation where she was being watched by the undead, and there weren't enough soldiers in the territory. However, even before help could arrive, the people of the territory started insulting her in rage, faulting the lord. As the people were dying to the undead while waiting for reinforcements, the lord had no choice but to hold steadfast. After what seemed like a century, the reinforcements from the empire came, drove the undead away, and saved the territory. She is not a scaredy cat of a lord who was in hiding. She is a lord who sacrificed herself to save the subjects of her territory. She asked, is he telling her to lie to his subjects? He replied, didn't she say that she wanted to live? Go and hand out all the supplies in the castle to help the subjects that are still alive. Soon after, aid from other cities will come. She asked how is he so sure that the aid will come. He note, not that he is sure of it. He will make it happen, since they will be taking care of making the young Lord of Haston a hero. If it's so quiet, the boss must be done with everything. They should start heading towards the boss. Lady Mel's a teleport would be appreciated. She replied she don't think she can use a teleport because her mana has bottomed out. Lala inquired can she ask him something? Why is he going so far to save Haston? And she think they are dungeon monsters. There's no way that it's for the people's lives. He note didn't she say that you wanted to live? Then know her place and don't try to find out too much. Meanwhile, Swallow stated well, it was about time to replace one of the 7 great even dungeons. He feels sorry for him. He would have avoided all this if he had just kept quiet somewhere, right? Whether it be this guy or others guy, why can't they just leave him alone? He has been stabbed so much that his back is itching. Irivos remark ancient monster, he is once again shocked by his strength. Swallow replied no, he don't really care about that. Let me ask you something, why did it have to be Haston? Had he not attacked this place, he wouldn't have had to make his way here. Irivos stated Haston is the most effective location to invade the Empire from. Swallow replied no, he is not talking about things like that. And he think that means this bastard came here knowing that it was his territory. Irivos laughed and asked what do he think the reason is. And as he tried to cast a spell, Swallow immediately restricted with his darkness, but that caused the explosion, and undead immortal king, Irivos' head fall to the ground. Swallow think what's this, so he wasn't trying to use transfer magic? Well, he guessed it doesn't matter, he was going to die anyway. Let's see, what should he do about this? This place will be unusable unless it gets fixed up. At that moment, he heard Patrick's voice calling his name. As he nervously turned around, Patrick stated stop right there. Do not move. He come here to find him. He really missed him. You miss me too, right? Swallow think he is in trouble. Then the scene shifted to Rosalina, taking cover from rain and thought about her fellows who had died. She exclaimed, there's nothing left. What kind of help is this? She is the only one left. Whose fault is it? Who's the one that killed everyone? Meanwhile, as Swallow and others returned to the dungeon, Renee welcomed them. She was waiting nicely and quietly for them. She even cleaned everything nicely while waiting. Swallow replied she did well. Mel's fell to the ground, saying she is really tired. Patrick added he feels like dying. Renee asked Mr. Swallow, he must be really tired, right? Would he like dinner first, or would he like a bath first? Swallow replied, he is drink the bath water. Patrick thought, what's going on? And he asked, just what has she been teaching her while they were away? Ursabet Bathory inquired, she wonder if everything went well? Swallow asked her, can she leave now? Patrick added yeah. Well, if she added up the number of humans who died of starvation and to the undead, it would be around 3,000. And don't forget about how this damned boss blew up the whole town. Aside from that, it turned out pretty well. She asked, just what did he do over there? He replied, he just cleaned up the undead. She asked further, did he really only clean up the undead? He added he cleaned them up perfectly. She questioned, she is asking what exactly he cleaned up perfectly. Swallow placed the head of Irivos on the table and stated, don't bother him, he is going to sleep. As she observed it closely, Swallow drank the bath water. She noted, wait, isn't this just the shell? That surprised Patrick and Renee. A little later, Swallow explained that true, he did use magic at the end. Patrick stated, no matter how he look at it, this is just bad work, boss. He did a bad job cleaning things up. Leaving the Lord who knows everything alive was already questionable, but now even Irivos is alive. Just what did they do in Haston? Swallow noted. Ursabet said that Irivos would have lost at least 70% of his life. Patrick replied that's true, but in the end, there was still conflict between the great evil dungeons. He needs to be more careful of things now. Well, they should be fine for now since Irivos won't be able to make a move for a while. He should stop slacking off now. As he has said before, even if he can take care of the aftermath of Haston, accepting monsters into the dungeon is something that has to be done by him. As he turned around asking, is he listening? And he saw Swallow, sleeping. Meanwhile, Rosalina arrived where people were gathered talking to one another. A green-haired person said, there have been rations for 3 days in a row. What's the point of just filling their bellies? His wife and kids are all dead. A blue-haired person stated, what praise the Lord? Is everything okay as long as his belly is full? The green-haired person replied, he did rather follow them to the afterlife than to live like this. The blue-haired person replied, they should fill their bellies even if they follow them. Then the green-haired person noticed Rosalina, and he asked what is she giving up as well. She should fill her belly before she leave. Rosalina stated, where would she even go? Of course, she is also suffering. She wants to run away. But why do they have to be the ones to run away? What did they do wrong for them to die? They should think about it. Who was in the wrong? Who killed everyone? This is unfair. It's really unfair. Don't point their hate at the wrong target. There is no point in a meaningless death. If they are going to die anyway, they should take revenge on the being that put them in this situation. All of them asked what do they have to do. She remarked, they should all know. They have to kill all the undead. This video contains all the chapters that have been released up to the present day. The next part will be uploaded after there were at least 3 to 4 chapters of this manhwa released. So remember to like and subscribe to the channel for future update. Leave comments to share your experience. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.